Welcome, my foolies. It's your boy Tom Foolery back here with some foolishness on Pardon My Ramble episode 2. Long awaited, I'll explain here in a second. But it's time to get spooky. What's wrong with me, man? I don't know. Anyway, what's going on, my foolies? Yes, Pardon My Ramble, episode 2. Long overdue. Long overdue. It wasn't supposed to be this long of a break between videos. Supposed to just be like the first one I did, and then I'm supposed to just keep following up. But September and October has been a little crazy for me. Just the different events that's been happening outside of my life. The scheduling for my upload and streams and stuff like that not going how I planned it, which is why I never really planned, but kind of mostly how I expected it. It just didn't work out that way. And hopefully the spooky music in the background helps out this. But yeah, I thought what more better time than to bring back another episode, another idea, than with episode 2 being about 2 of the scariest episodes, moments, whatever stories that I have happened to me in my life. And I'm not going to spend too much wasted time getting to stories, but it's just a little pre-filler, just what's been going on. If this is your first time seeing a PMR episode, basically there will be the full video linked down in the description so you can get a better understanding of kind of what this is about. But mostly it's a platform for my brain to just vent out, because I just be rambling on in my videos, kind of like I'm starting to do right now. So I was like, let me make basically a space for my brain just to let it do its thing and talk about whatever. And that's what PMR is going to be about, is whatever topics I can come up with, whatever topics you guys come up with, whether comment section or my social medias, which are always linked down below. Different, again, maybe some relative stuff that's going on in the world. Nothing political or religious. No, not doing it. not doing it. Past relationships, funny stories, scary stories, real stories, like personal, like whatever for that particular day I'm going to talk about. That's what it's going to be about, because I don't know. Like I said, just my brain just needs a place for it to ramble on, and I thought, what better way to do this? And then another reason why it took so long, outside of the personal stuff I was telling you that was going on, which I think I explained in the first one. Basically, a little bit dealing with her grandma, which we're still dealing with that. And of course, just hoping for the best for G. So it's like that with other stuff has definitely been what's prolonged this. And then something as simple as me, I wanted to come up with a little intro video, kind of like I did for my regular videos, with my new little logo guy and everything like that. I was trying to come up with something for Pardon My Ramble, and I wanted it to be a specific way, but I couldn't focus and sit down and do it because of everything, like I said, that was going on in my life. So I was like, whatever, just put it on the back burner. Until one day I was just like, bro, sit down, make something simple, right? Just to get it out the way, because I really want to do this. Like, I want Pardon My Ramble because it helps out. just me rambling on and let my brain vent out, it helps out. So I was like, yeah, like, this is perfect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we need to do. And so basically that's what that little clip you saw in the beginning, that is what I came up with. And that took me like 10 minutes. Which, like, my main intro and outro is not what I want it to be, but it's like, it's a start. Just do something to get you started, and then we'll figure out the rest. And so that's what happens. So, just preference a couple things before I get started with my stories. I am a believer to an extent of paranormal type things, extraterrestrial things, certain cryptids, stuff along that line, and not just based off, like, I'm a horror junkie, so like I've watched a bunch of horror movies growing up and things of that different nature, and like watched Ghost Hunters growing up, which is one of my favorite shows, which got my book I wanted to show you guys that I've had for 10 years, and the stupid lamp is too bright, but it's called Seeking Spirits, The Last Cases of the Atlantic Paranormal Society, which is the OGs, Jason and Grant. If y'all ever watched Ghost Hunters on sci-fi back in the day like I did, that's the boys that were plumbers by day and ghost investigators at night, which I always thought was funny. But they really got me hooked into that world. And then, like, Josh Gates with doing Destination Truth got me more into like the cryptid side and different things like that. And then aliens and stuff like that. But look, extraterrestrial beings for me is simple. Don't sit up here to my face and tell me this is the only planet that was able to sustain life, when you're trying to tell me how big this universe is. Oh, no, I don't. That's hard for me to believe. That's hard for me. Again, that's like telling me, go to a college campus, nobody that goes there is going to have brown eyes. Nobody there is going to have black hair. That, to me, like, that's how crazy that sounds. Like, come on. Something else is out there. Now, whether that they come here or not, I don't know. Me and my sisters talked about it. I said, we're a science project to the universe. They just come to visit on field trips and stuff. But that's another topic, another day. We're here to tell scary stories and talk about the paranormal, which, again, these are my first two instances. I'm telling it the best I can remember. These did happen years ago, but this is one of those things that has etched its way into my memory, like, deep, and kind of scarred me because of what happened. And stuff like that you don't forget. And I'm not gonna try to sit up here and be too like I'm not going to sit up here and just try to exaggerate like everything. Like, try to keep it simple, straight to the point as I can. But I'm gonna tell my story. If you believe me, if you don't, it's up for you. It's up to you. I know what I've been through. I know what I lived through. Lived through makes it sound super intense. It's not. The first one's probably a little more far-fetched than the second one. Because anytime I've ever told the first one, people be like, come on, bro. You watch too many movies. And it's like, yeah, I do, but this really happened, okay? So, let's start with the first one. Just go ahead and get it out the way, because, like I said, it's the most craziest one. So, I'm about 12, 13, 14, around that age, 12 to 14. And this is back when me and my sister used to spend a lot of summer vacations coming up from Georgia to West Virginia to spend time with our cousins, aunt, uncle, just have a good time. Basically, take a break from my dad. But so we come up here, spend time. Everything's normal. Everything's perfectly fine. And then one day, my cousin was like, he was going to his friend's house. His friend named Stormy, okay? And he asked me that I want to go. And I was like, well, of course, I don't want to stay here with the Goyles. I had nothing against my sister and like his sister, but I'm hang with the boy. Like, I'm hang with my dog, man. Like, you can't just leave me. Like, I'm gonna be bored, right? Because I was the type growing up. I love my older sister to death, but I've always wanted an older brother. She kind of feel that shoe sometimes because she played games with me and stuff too. But it's just different having that bigger brother type feeling, right? And music, you're a little too. I don't even feel like I'm in the right area of the story for you to start playing stuff like this, but do your thing. It's on a loop. It's like an ambient loop thing. I'm just letting it do its thing. Just to help faster. But so I was like, yeah, going to Storm. I think Auntie gets off work. She was already home. I don't remember. Or we was going the next day. Something like that. Either way, we was going over to Stormy's house. Now, he did tell me about Stormy and his family. That they're spiritual. Might be an apt word to use. Not so much like Christianity or anything, or like religious. Not necessarily into witchcraft. Not necessarily like ghost hunters or like paranormal investigators or anything like that, but they're spiritual. They believe in that stuff because of some of the things he told me about where they live is like some dark stuff happened there. And I'm like, I hate living by a street, bro. I swear to God. And he was telling me this, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay with the Goyles. I'm gonna go with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we're all about the same age. Like, me and my cousin, I'm probably a couple months older than him. Not probably, I am a couple months more than him. And Stormy, I think he was about our same age. Maybe he was a little younger, a little older. But basically, we're all around the same age group. And I just remember packing up clothes, brought my swim trunks because they had a pool from what he told me, and we was on our way out there. Now, they lived out in Kutch, okay, where your neighbor is 2-3 miles down the road. Okay, and I remember we were pulling into this place, and the first thing I noticed was the cornfield. You ever see the movie Signs? With Mel Gibson and like his brother and like aliens and stuff. That movie scarred me as a little kid, and it's still one of the scariest movies I've ever seen to date. And I don't fuck with cornfields. Guess what was beside the cornfield? The pool. God damn pool, man. Yeah, one of those above ground pools, like super huge. I think it's like 4 or 5 feet deep. I was just like, oh my God. Oh, gosh, it's gonna be fun. But we get there, get to the house, it's a nice house, meet family, meet mom, meet Storm. Storm's grandma was there too, so we meet her. And, you know, got a tour of the house. And got to see the backyard. They had a little back porch patio thing. Very important. uh, with these huge double French doors. Are they called French doors? I think those are called French doors. Even the ones that got like those, you know, window in it, squares windows with blinds and curtain in front of it. I'm being very descriptive because it's important. Pay attention. This door is important. Game. So yeah, basically we get settled in. Auntie drops us off. She's gone. We're pretty much just talking. His mother is in love with me. And I'm falling in love with his mother because she was. Stormy's mom was kind of hot, dude. I'm not gonna lie. She was kind of hot. She's a little older. Well, definitely way older than me, but she was cute. She was. She had a rocking set of knockers, dude. She had some humongous dongers going. No, but she was a sweet old lady, just like his grandma. She wasn't a sweet old lady. That's make her sound super old, but no. She was just super nice to be in. She loved me and my cousin. And she's, like I said, she just met me. She fell in love with me instantly. And I was just like, oh, cool. I'm one of his sons now. Great. And I don't remember how we got to the conversation, but my cousin started mentioning to Storm's mom that he told me some stuff about that was going on, and I didn't really believe him. So then his mom was telling me, like, yes, this land is haunted, cursed, you know what I'm saying, down that avenue. Some bad stuff has happened out here. They told me about this entity of a large man. We're gonna call him Scott. Okay, keep Scotty in mind. This very burly, dark figure who's Scott, and then there's like other spirits around that are more friendly and stuff. And I'm kind of just sitting there like, I just want to play the game or something. I don't. Y'all just try to give me that. Y'all just try to play. Y'all just try to scare me out and stuff like that. They kind of did. They kind of got me a little bit because it's like, because one thing for my cousin to tell me, right? And it's one thing for Stormy to tell me stuff. But then his mom also. And she was super serious. Like, we was joking around, playing around, just talking. Then when she's talking about this, she had like, you know, the mother tone, the serious tone. Like, that's the one she took. Like, we was in trouble, but she was like super serious. And I'm just like, maybe some of this stuff holds water, okay? Either way, like I said, we get settled in. I remember eventually go swimming, having fun. It's summer, beautiful sun, not a cloud in the sky. There's probably a few, but you know, it's one of those beautiful days. No breeze, really, like maybe like 1-2 miles per hour type breeze. Like, it was just beautiful. The weather's important. The weather's important to the story. Okay, and I remember we got done swimming, come inside, dry off. You know, mom's making dinner. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember it was amazing because I remember when I walked in the house, I was like, "Oh, dude!" Then we was playing started playing a game. I remember we was playing WWE SmackDown 2007 because I love that game because it was so much fun. It's one of the best. I think it was 2007 or 6. One of those, whichever one of those was like super fun. Those classic wrestling games were just so fun, and I love whichever game that was. But every time I hear about that game or just like see it somewhere, like I think about it. It's like this scarred me. It's etched into my memory forever. Like this, that's just how it is. So is a certain bag of chips. I'll get to that in a second. I know it might sound weird, but certain bag of chips as well. Okay. Anyway, so said playing the game. I'll dry it off, just relaxing, eat dinner, just chilling. It was just chill day. Nothing's going on. Nothing. Everything was just flowing nice. I'm like, I like it here. This is cool. You guys are cool. I don't care about what y'all was talking about earlier. Whatever. Like, that was me. Then it started to turn up a little bit. Slowly, but gradually. Things started to reach a peak. I guess is what I could say. And it all started when, like I said, night's rolling in. It's getting pretty late. Maybe like 9-10 o'clock. Mom's done cleaning up everything. Granny, she real sweet old lady. She was just really quiet. I mean, she had stuff to say about what was going on too, which was another like stamp for me. It was like, this may be true. Gran said this. Okay, all right, noted. And you know, his mom assured us that their house is protected, like they're safe, because she makes it safe. I don't know how, but it's safe, right? Granny said the same thing. Okay. So anyway, like I said, everything's cleaned up. We're playing the game. Mom goes to bed. Everybody, Mom and Gran. I think Gran was already asleep. Mom goes to bed. Me and my cousin and Storm playing the games, goofing off. And it was Storm's bright idea. Hey, you guys want to go for a night swim? You want us to go out to the pool at night by the cornfield? I'm just looking at my cousin. He's like, I'm down. Okay. I'm like, okay. I can't be a wimp. I can't be a little sissy, but you gotta get out there. Come on. So I was like, fine. Whatever. So it's close to a midnight swim. Get out there, get in the pool. Okay. Now, I want you to keep this in mind, okay? This circle that I'm in is basically the pool, okay? I'm here, right? I'm on this side of the pool. It's a pretty big pool. It's one of those family ones. It's pretty big. I'm the mic, right? Basically, I'm the mic. And straight in front of me, looking in front of me on this side of the pool, the cornfield, okay? I ain't stupid. If I was to see something like the corn start freaking out, I could backflip out of that pool and boom, take off to the house. House was probably about 25, 30 feet, okay? I used to play basketball, so I know like the dimensions of the court. So so it was about a 3-pointer from the house, okay? Like, it wasn't far, but it was kind of far. Maybe it was a little bit further. That's why I say about 25, 30, maybe even 35, okay? My cousin is on this side, which would be the left side. It's just confusing because this is my right hand, but cousin's on the left side, Stormy's over here on the right, okay? Like I said, in front of me is the cornfield. Over here is Stormy. Over here, it's my cousin. All right, I know I probably just confused. this is my right hand, this is my left hand. Okay, my tattoos on my left side. But I was just so we were sitting in there, it's in the pool. Again, it's a summer night. It's cool. It's not super cold. Summer. It's still like 70s. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful, crystal clear sky. Like, if you've ever been to the countryside, outside of city limits where there's not a bunch of lights, you just look up at the sky. It's the best time to see it because it's the most beautiful to me. And there wasn't a lot of lights out where they live, right? They had a telephone pole in the backyard that had one of those street lights on it. It's not like a street lamp like the ones that like on the pole and it like sticks out. Like, nah, it was just one that was kind of like attached to it, and it wasn't like super super bright, but it was bright enough back there to illuminate. Okay, keep that in mind. The backyard's kind of important. All right. And then in the front where we was at, where the pool and the cornfield was, there was another pole. It was probably, it was a little off of the ways, not really that bright, and the light was on the other side of the pole. But the moon was out, and especially out in the country, the moonlight like means something. You can actually see stuff, and it was beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky, not really. You know what I'm saying? No breeze. Maybe a small breeze, like to the point. His mom had wind chimes on the front of the house. I couldn't hear him. Couldn't hear him ring-a-ding-a-linging. Like, that's just how soft the wind was blowing. Right, we're sitting in the pool, goofing off, trying to be quiet, don't want to wake up his mom. I don't think she would have yelled at us, but she wouldn't have wanted us outside, from what basically he was telling me. I remember we're looking up the stars, you know what I'm saying, and I lock eyes with this red light in the sky. Now, what threw me off about this red light wasn't blinking, so I'm like, okay, it's not an earthquake and a pain. It's not moving. I'm like, maybe that's a planet or something. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. But it wasn't like a super huge notable star, but it's definitely different because it was red, right? And of course, them two noticed, like, he was like, yo, what are you staring at? I'm like, yeah, it's a red light. I was trying to see if it's moving and am I tripping? And I'm like, what's going on? And they was like, they look up there and they're like, oh, no, it's not an airplane. It's something. Stormy's demeanor changed instantly when he saw it. We're outside playing around. We're kids, man. Now you can pick up music. Now you can da-dum. But it's like he got so serious. We was just out there having a good time, right? And I'm looking at him, look at that, and it's like his face has changed. And then he like confirmed with my cousin, was basically like, yeah, that's, I don't remember what like the whole thing behind it was, but it basically wasn't good. He's like, yeah, that's the that's the thing. That's what we look out for, basically. Because my cousin has apparently seen something before, as well. So he kind of knows what goes on around here. I don't. First time visitor. Let's not do let's not do this. Okay. But so Storm, this is my cousin. He's like, think something doesn't feel right. Something's off. Right? As soon as he says that, wind picks up. Out of nowhere, there's still no clouds in the sky. Okay? Thank you, dramatic piano. There's no clouds in the sky. There's no nothing. Double negative, shut up. Alright? It's Nathan. Nothing's going on. Alright? But the wind picks up. Not super heavy, but now, you know what I'm saying? Corn stalks. I'm staring at them. They dance. I can hear the wind chime in the background. I'm like, what's going on? What are we talking about? Right? And my cousin's basically like, Storm might have to do his thing tonight. Like, he might have to protect us. I'm like, what? Now who watches too many movies? What? He's like, yeah, it's like, we're safe. And Storm is like, yeah, just let me do my thing. He was like, hopefully it's not Scott that's trying to appear or whatever. And he's like, let me take care of everything. But you have to follow these rules. I'm like, well, I'm going inside the you talking about, son? Like, I'm out, money you talking about me? I'm out, man. I'm off the block. Yeah, I ain't supposed to be out here. Like, he was like, yeah, you have to follow these rules. Which basically, I was not allowed to get out the pool for whatever reason until he told me it was safe. Yeah, okay. All right. 2, whatever happens, if he was to go underwater, do not bother him. Let him do his thing. Do not disturb him. If he needs help, he will signal for it. Yeah, okay. All right. 3, don't. He's like, again, whatever happens, do not disturb him. Break his concentration, or whatever, can mess things up and it can get really ugly. It's happened before, a type mess, and I'm like, okay, all right. I want to go home. Not necessarily like I'm getting scared. I was getting spookified. Okay, like I said, the wind picked up at a crazy time. You said all this stuff, and I'm just like, bro, I'm good. Like, I want to go home now. Call auntie. I'm ready to go. Okay. That's when it starts turning up. So I'm shimmying closer to my cousin because I'm like, I just stay away from Storm right now. He said, don't bother him. I'm not going to bother you, Playboy. Do your thing, okay? And he was like, please be as quiet as possible. Closes his eyes. Like, he's Master Roshi, right? Me and my cousins over here with Broly and them. Okay? Like, 2 opposite sides of the pool. And he was just like, kind of like swaying back and forth, turning in the water a little bit. I'm sitting there like, I'm over here with my cousin. I'm like, man, I'm just ready to go inside. I just want to play the game. Why not ready to come out here? Why not keep come out of this mess? And I'm looking up as well. Like the red light is still there. It's still there. It hasn't. It doesn't look brighter. It doesn't look dimmer. It's just, you know what I'm saying. Like it's just there. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Already nervous because, like I said, the corn stalks in the background they dancing. You know what I'm saying. He starts like doing the like spazzing a little bit, like like he's not really talking. He's not saying nothing crazy. Like he's not reciting some ancient chant, some crazy like that. But like his eyes is closed and he's like spazzing out. And I'm like, okay. I should have stayed inside. I should have stayed inside, man. I should have just went to sleep on the couch or something, yeah. And he, like I said, he starts moving around, not doing like crazy spasms, like just yeah. Goes underwater. Sploosh! It looked like he got jerked. Like that's just how it looked. Like he went under the water fast. And I was like, whoop, 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 stop, break, you good? You need help? Like, and I'm like, oh well. He said, don't help him. And I'm just watching, man. I'm just watching. Like I said, it's like 4 feet. It's dark, but like I said, the light from the street lamp in the front, it's a little. You can see a little bit, and the moon was super bright. He entered the water. Not that long. Maybe a minute. Maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And he comes up. He's like, basically, we might be in trouble. He's like, it might be Scott. I'm starting to look around like, bro, if I see a big dark figure anywhere, bro, I'm out of here. Swear to God, bro. I would rather run in the cornfields and get abducted by some aliens off of signs than deal with that. Okay, no sir, right? So like, I'm getting to the point of petrified. Like the spoopometer is raising rapidly, right? But he said this when he came up out the water. I never forget it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He did the eyes roll in the back of the head, and he's just like, "This is good." Like, I'm just like, boy, watch out. Man, I was so scared, dude. Oh man, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was just so thrown off by what was going on, and he was like, I'm doing my best, but I have to wake up my mom. Cause she said the house is protected. She protects his house. He protects his house as well. I don't remember about Granny. She probably does too. I mean, it would make sense they're all in on it, but his mom is like the strongest one. She can fend off Scott type deal. Like, and I'm like, like I was ready to yell, like I was ready to get out and go get her, like. But I remember he said can't make a lot of noise, can't get out the pool until he tests okay. And he was just like, I'm trying. I don't know. Then he goes back underwater. Again, looks like he's getting snatched. This time he's under the water for a nice little bit. I don't want to be too exaggerative. I don't want to make it seem like something it ain't. Okay? But He was up under the water long enough for me and my cousin to be like, yo, should we do something? My cousin's like, he's kind of seen this before. He's like, he will signal and let us know. And I'm just like, okay. Like, wasn't a game of who can hold their breath the longest. Like, nah, he was under there for a while. And he was moving. Like, you could see his body underwater. Like, it's dark and shadowy, but you could see, like, him moving. And it could have been like 3-4 minutes. Could have been 5. He was under there for a while. Because he shot out of the water. Like, doing his best to try to catch his breath. And like, we like, Scott, like, we go over to him like, man, what was you talking about, bro? You okay? Like, and he was like trying to breathe. Like, soon he was able to kind of catch his breath. After a little minute or two, he was like, we need to get inside. And I was just like, all right. Yo, I'm not waiting. We all got out the pool and took off. I was the first one because I was already facing, like, I was close to the house, technically, in the pool. Like I said, this is the pool. I'm the mic. The house is behind me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I moved over to where my cousin was at, like, we helped him out the pool because, like, he just seemed disoriented, probably because of the lack of oxygen. Not trying to be funny, but and everything else going on, and we just run in the house, lock the door, change clothes. Everybody's like terrified. I'm more terrified than everybody else. Because, son, I've never experienced, like, y'all probably, like, my cousin, he told me stuff, like, so he already kind of has a clue. I don't. I'm flipping out, bro. I'm not like screaming or like hyperventilating, but I'm crying uncontrollably. I'm shaking. I'm coming to a house with the AC on. It's cold, but like, I'm petrified. I'm ready to go home. And I was telling him that, like, I'm ready to go home. He's like, you can't leave. Sorry. I'm like, Store, bro, you cool, bro. You cool as hell. But you know what, man? You, son. You. Cousin, you too, man. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, yo. So everything eventually calms down a little bit, right? We change our clothes, all sitting there wrapped up in some blankets. And he was like, Scott could show up tonight. And I'm like, what does that mean? He was like, you remember the story my mother told you earlier? Yeah, about Scott popping up at the back door. He probably will do it again tonight. And I'm like, he'll what? Excuse me? He'll do what? To who? To where? To okay. Okay. And man, I remember it definitely wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not gonna say it was like the witching hour or but it was pretty late, and we eventually calmed down. And me and Scott was playing a game. I don't know if my cousin was asleep yet or not, right? So this is the house setup, right? You walk in the front door, boom. Over here to your right is the back rooms, like Scott's room, the game room, exercise room, or whatever. In the bathroom. Then you got the living room over here on this side, where there was a couch immediately to your left. There was a couch on the wall over on the right, or right in front of you. Right, you walk through the living room. You got the kitchen, back area back there, and the master bedroom in the back, where mom and Grand sleeps, I guess. Or I think there was another guest bedroom back there. I don't remember. But like I said, you walk in, there's a living room, couch on that side. Beside that couch on that side was the double doors with the shades and the blinds and stuff. There was no window on this side because of the doors. I guess I don't. But the room on the other side of the living room, like when you take this right, that first door on your left was like the exercise room. There was a window in there. Very important. Part of the story. And my cousin was on the couch over there where the door was. I was on the one by the door. Yeah, Scott, not Scott. Oh, Jesus, not Scott. Story was in the floor. Actually, me and him was in the floor playing the game. Like I said, I think my cousin might have been asleep at this time. And we were playing a game, kind of trying to take our mind off of it. And I just remember Storm being like, something's not right. And I'm like, well, we're playing wrestling. Like, what do you mean something's not right? He's like, just something isn't right. Said maybe we need to go to bed because the story his mother told me earlier was basically if Scott shows up, you turn everything off in the house and you remain quiet as possible. Don't answer the door, of course. Don't say his name. Don't talk to him. Don't do anything. And the blessing of the house will keep him at bay, right? His mom, I guess you could say, protected the house every night. Not like she walked around with like holy water and crucifixes and stuff like that, but whatever she did, she said she did it on a nightly basis. So, okay, good. Good. And I remember he paused the game and got up. And went to the exercise computer room or whatever. I don't know. There was an elliptical in there in the computer. That's all I remember. And he came back and he was like, man, I just don't feel right. He's like, we can keep playing. And then the wind stopped. Now, you couldn't, like, it wasn't blowing hard enough like you could hear it through windows or hear it through the house. But the wind chimes. We was hearing the wind chimes, and the wind chimes stopped. And then there was a shadow of a tree you can see on the door because of that light that was in that back, the way it illuminated. A tree branch was shaking, and like me and him heard the wind chime stop, and we was like we looked at the front door, and then I turned around. Me and him turned around and looked at the shadow on the door, and we was like, the tree wasn't moving. We was like, looked at each other. I'm like, what's that mean? He was like, it's time to lay down. Turn everything off. Choo 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 choo. Go. I'm on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Blanket. He's like, bro, can't breathe like that. He's like, you gotta relax. I'm instantly start crying again. I'm terrified. He's laying down on the couch. He's like, hey man, it's gonna be okay. We're protected. Don't worry. I did what I could, but mom, she has us, basically. Like, yeah, I think my cousin's asleep because he had to be, which is good for him. Craziest music playing right now. Cause I'm getting like itchy, man. Just thinking about this. That's just what it does. And why I've been fidgety this whole time, because the storage is kind of uncomfortable, but it's an experience nonetheless. And laying down, cover basically almost suffocated me, and it's dead quiet. There's no wind chimes, there's no nothing. And then we start hearing the steps on the back porch creak. Like, terrified. And it's like a soft thump. It's not like a heavy, It's a footstep, though. It's a pretty heavy footstep, though. And it's going up the stairs. You see the first part of the shadow take over the door. And it's almost exactly how she described it. He literally took up the whole double door. I could see like the shoulder on one side of his body from the shadow, like up to his neck that was above the door. Like the door frame, like the top of the door. I stopped looking. I couldn't look anymore. That was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. Who knows if it was like maybe an actual neighbor who's just insane and they just play tricks on these people because they know what they're into. Like, whatever the case is, it's terrifying. It's terrifying either way. And I literally like covered my face. I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. He was just like, shh. Hey, Scott stood there for a minute. He was there for a little while. Because I looked again and I'm like, I still can't see out the goddamn door. And it's not the light went out. Because like I said, I could still see part of the light from his shadow. And the light comes through the, I could see in the hallway from that room on the left. I could see the light. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Alrighty. Under the covers, bawling my eyes out. Like I said, a few minutes passed by. Finally, Scotty's like, man, don't move. I'll be back. And I take the cover down, and there's, like, I can see out the back door again. He goes to the room, I guess, looks out the window and comes back. He's like, we're safe. We're fine. It's okay, man. Relax. Like, he's like, you want to go to the bathroom and clean your face up? You little. Nah, he didn't say it. He's like, it's okay, man. I know it's terrifying. Like, he was kind of doing a good job consoling me a little bit, but it's like, bro, this is still kind of like, this is super crazy, super insane. And he's like, you want to play the game some more, relax? And we did. We was playing the game, and my chips that every time I see these chips, I think about a story too. But it's the Jack Buffalo Ranch Hot Wings chips. Those things are crazy. I can't eat hot stuff because of my tongue, especially now that I have like stomach issues and stuff like that. But that night, big old cup of ranch and them bad boys. But that is one of the most terrifying things I've ever been through and experienced in my life. And I know I've been making light of it this whole time. Just gotta ease it for myself. But it's absolutely and utterly terrifying. Now the second story. I'm gonna jump straight into it. You're gonna have to catch in part 2. I'm gonna have to split these up. Because honestly, this was a pretty long story and I gotta get ready for work. So, part 2 is right around the corner, probably right after this video, probably right up with it. Just go click that one, follow the second story. It's a little bit better. It's not as like crazy as this first one, but it definitely still falls under the category of spookiness. If you enjoy this one, it's crazy one. Leave a like, man. Comment down below a crazy story of yourself, or if you want to hear some more stuff like this, send me. Go to my social media. Send me your own personal stories. Tag me in crazy stories. I will read them live right here in front of you. Like, I like scary stuff. And of course, subscribe, come join the family, come join the gang. Trying to reach 200 subs, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to grow out, show out with everybody. Appreciate everybody stopping by to show me love. I always do. I love y'all. I know that. And I'm gonna catch y'all in part 2.